Hello everyone, this is Chris Roma for Cardistry Practice Week 3. Today we're going to be going over the Sybil Cut and my progress so far after a week, as well as the deck flip, which I've only been able to do in the box very poorly. But Sybil Cut and deck flip is what we're going to focus on, and we'll do a little bit of the pressure fan and under pressure, but I haven't had much practice into those. It hasn't been the full week, but I'll still touch upon them. But something I did notice while playing and while buying other decks during the last week or two is that the decks do have different finishes. I didn't really notice the difference at first, but now I definitely know I don't really care for the performance coating. The air condition finishes and the magic finish seem very similar to me, but as far as the performance coating goes, I can definitely tell the difference, and I'm not a huge fan. Which is weird because this was probably the most expensive deck that I was able to find at Walgreens. But today we're going to be using the Bicycle Tragic Royalty deck as my used / packet deck, and we're going to be using the Auroras as my fanning deck. I just wanted to bring these two out to show you the performance coating and the magic finish basically. I do really enjoy these metal deck cards. They're fantastic looking. I have played with them a little bit, so they're not going to fan very well. But if you can see, I mean, the designing is just amazing on it. The pips, they're all individual. You know, these cards are just amazing. I'm going to do a deck unboxing of these shortly. But this deck I enjoy very much. I just really love the way it looks, the way it feels. You see the screws when you fan it. The custom pips are just fantastic and amazing. And I actually like this deck so much that I actually splurged a little bit and bought myself the original metal deck. That one was these are the blue versions. But I bought myself the original. They only made 5,500 of these. So then I grabbed myself 2 of them because I liked it so much. And they're staying in this case, and they will not be opened, unfortunately. As well as these that won't be opened, and I bought the wood deck that wouldn't be opened. I would eventually like to get another one, so I have 2 full sets. But this wood deck seems to be gorgeous too. I really wish I could open these. Maybe I will one day, but not at this point. But anyway, back to the cardistry practice. So you see the magic finish. Since we were talking about this and I already have these out, how they fan. And this is, like I said, this deck I played with a little bit too, so it's still fanning fairly well for a played with deck. And the magic finish, just I don't know, I really enjoy this deck. I guess that's all I can say about it. But let me put that away, and we'll break out the deck that I said I didn't really care for the coating. The performance coating, the Black Tigers. I really like the design and the graphics on this card. It's just the coating that I'm just not a big fan of. I like the way the black and the white and the red contrast. But this is basically a brand new deck. Haven't really played with it much. And as you can see, I was fanning that magic finish deck better than I could fan this. And I haven't even... I mean, all I did was an unboxing video on this deck, which I'm sure will pop up in the corner there and you'll be able to see it. But that's all I did. I didn't shuffle these ever, not once. So they should be fanning pretty well, and they're not. Let's give it a shot. Maybe there's just no air. I'll give it a little spring. Wow, it's definitely easier to spring older cards. You've got some oomph to them. But now we'll see with a little air between them. A little bit better, but still not great. So we'll go ahead and put those away, and we'll break out the Auroras. And that'll be, we'll see what happens with those. So this is the Aurora deck. I was able to pick these up at Walgreens. Got these as well at Walgreens as well. I do like this deck. It's very stylish, very different. I wouldn't play poker with it, but I think it's pretty good for cardistry. It's very different, very unique looking cards. But let's see how this one does with the thumb fan. Yeah, I like this, and this deck looks, I like the way the colors look on this deck when you fan it this way. It's just very nice looking deck. But as you can see, there's where I'm at with the thumb fan after 2 weeks. Still not perfect, still not great, which is why I've been practicing the pressure fan, because you know, got to get another fan in there too. And the pressure fan seems to work, not completely perfect, but this is a very beat up deck now. I've been using this as my packet deck, but it seems to work fairly well even on older decks. I mean, this is going to look like not good, but something like that versus normal thumb fan on this deck, you know, at least it gives you something to work with. Because most of the time I was thinking, like, if you go somewhere and you're using their deck to like play poker, you know, it's probably going to be an older deck, so you want to try to learn. And I feel like if you learn this fan very well, that pressure fan, you could probably do it fairly good looking with an older deck once you get enough practice into it. So that's what my fans look like. Here's the pressure fan again with the old deck. That's about all I got. Try it with the Auroras. Whoa, whoa, little slick. So we got cards that hit the floor. We have cards that hit the floor. All right, so half the deck is on the floor. Other half is all over the bar. We're going to move on to a different deck for fanning apparently now, because I'm not picking those up right now. So, bring in the Blue Dragon bags. Alright, but moving on, that was the pressure fan. I've only worked on that for about a day or two so far, not much into it. But we'll move on to the Sybil Cut, which is basically where most of my time has gone into practicing, even though this has been a very busy week and I still didn't practice as much as I probably should have. But here, I've been leaving this packet thicker, and then I drop that, pick this up, swivel around, grab up here, swivel back around, grab that packet, up around, and you can close. What I've noticed though is if you leave that packet real thick on the end and you grab on that last grab, you grab a different packet instead of the thick one. So I'm coming over, passing this packet up, grabbing it, coming back, and instead of grabbing this thick one, I'm going to grab this thin one down here and put that back on top. And now I could re-split here and go again, and that guarantees I leave a nice thick pile on the top, and then you could finish there. With a little bit more thought, you could probably figure out which one of these packets you should leave thicker if you want to split it the normal Sybil Cut. It's probably that second packet. So I leave that one real thick. Is that the one? You can do a little experiment here. So if I grab that normally and bring it around, yep. So if you leave that second packet thicker, you could do the normal Sybil Cut without having to alter which packet you're changing to grab that thick one. So it all depends. You could do a little experimentation and see what you want. But I also noticed that it's a false cut if you grab that other packet, because the top one packet will never move. Like, for example, if you go grab this one, rotate up, dropped a card, sorry guys. So if you split it, grab that one, go up, grab, and then instead of grabbing this one with the Queen of Spades, you grab that one you just brought around, and now it's a false cut. And you could keep going with that, but it might be pretty obvious depending on how well you flourish that Sybil. So that's where I'm at with the Sybil Cut after about maybe 5 hours, not even 5 hours of practice total over the course of the weeks. So let's try it with the dragon backs. New deck. Well, newer. Still been worked with a little bit though. Those actually feel like they're sticking together a little bit easier, which I did not expect. I expected these to be real slippery. But they're sticking fairly well. So, quick recap on the Charlier. I can do that pretty much. I'd be confident to do that at a poker table. The double I'd be fairly confident to do at a poker table. The rotation cut with a new deck of cards, I would definitely not be confident in doing that. As you can see why, I just lost a card. This one I'm still working on. This one still makes me nervous. With this deck, I'm a little less nervous. But the rotation's definitely a little bit of the more trickier one-handed cuts for sure that I've been working on. Even though I had it in my week 1 video, it's a little bit rougher. The scissor cut, still getting a little bit still a little rough to get that reach around. Cheap. I actually kind of forgot about the scissor cut, and right now I really haven't worked on that one at all since last week. It's starting to come back though. Muscle memory's coming back. There we go. I bet I could probably even, if I gave it a shot, maybe even slip it into the middle somewhere. You know what I mean? Lift this packet instead of bringing it all the way back, drop it into the middle. Yeah, that works. Okay, so that's pretty much everything. You see there's my string. Still working on it. That's after about 2 weeks. Not bad. I could actually almost pull my hand totally out of frame. So that's definitely at least better than last week, huh? Still working on it. But yeah, keep on practicing. Yours looks better than mine. Good. Yours looks worse than mine. Keep on practicing. Keep doing good. Keep doing that work. You know. One last time. Alright guys. Thanks for watching. Until next time.